Hello and welcome into introduction into Meiro Engage. Thank you for being with us. And we will show you why Meiro Engage is actually called Engage. Because Engage is exactly what you want to do with your clients. Yuri, what do you think is the best way to engage with the client?
I think that the meaningful engagement starts with a lot of data that you can actually collect, bind together in identity, and further distribute in personalized way. So I guess the journey starts with the data collection and then the right identity resolution. So I guess today we will show you how to best leverage those data that you can have in your customer data platform as Meiro is, and how the engagement could work effectively with personalization as well.
And I might surprise you because I will actually start with the very end. I really like your idea about the data collection, but this is something that is actually happening under the hood. And what we are interested in is actually the personalized communication. When we look at the mission of CDP, I believe that it is really in the personalization, in engaging with the clients, with your customers. And that is usually happening through communication journeys, through personalized communication, through really personal offer that resonate with your clients. And this is exactly the reason why we usually think in communication scenarios. And in Meiro Engage, there is a tool exactly for it. It is customer journeys, and it allows you to build multi-step, multi-channel scenarios where the activation channels use customer data to personalize the content and to deliver the right message to the right people in the right context, probably at the right moment and through their preferred channel. If we manage to do that, I think we are spot on in what we need to do to engage with the clients. So, journeys. Before we get to journeys, what do you think we actually need? Like, what do we need to get ready to be able to talk to the right people at the right time through the right channel?
Yeah, I think that in the beginning we should think about like the use case and the goal of its use case, right? Then right assumption would be what data I have that I can use for the personalization, and actually how to trigger those scenarios and put people in those journeys.
So what do you think? We need some attributes to describe the profile?
Yeah, I believe that you need a good data description of the user, of the profile, and then you can think how to leverage those attributes. So pieces of information that are giving you a picture how the user is described.
Excellent, excellent. And we have attributes exactly for that. So to be able to describe the profile and to use it in interaction as well as segmentation later on, Meiro Engage allows you to create any kind of attribute. So we can have, let's say, data collection attributes that is really collecting the data from web forms, even from your database or any other data source. And we can also have computed attributes that are very useful for scoring. And the scoring can later on help you to actually split the audience, the profiles, into meaningful audiences. Now, could you think about some kind of audience that would make sense, for example, to activate specific kind of users or profiles?
Yeah, I think that in a lot of use cases, we meet kind of the flow that is based on lifetime value of the user, of the customer, right? So in some scenarios, you want to target your profile base that has like high value and high value customers. In some cases, there are people who need to be touched from more like a retention point of view, right? So I guess the distribution and the segmentation of your profile base based on the performance, or let's say outcome of the users, is a kind of typical scenario that we meet with our clients.
Perfect. And this is exactly what we see with our clients using Meiro CDP or Meiro Engage. And it really is the kind of lifetime value or any other indication of, let's say, customer life stage or what phase of their life cycle they are in. So there is definitely a difference on how you want to talk to first-time buyers or freshly engaged customers, onboarded customers, and completely different communication might be addressed to retention or win back customers or campaigns. So Meiro Engage contains audiences that allow you to easily define the conditions that will select the profiles, as in this case by customer value, where the customer value is above certain threshold. Now, what is really great about audiences is the possibility to immediately see the overlaps. I really love this feature because that really helps you to see what kind of audiences overlap each other, and that might help you to analyze the customer base and better define what kind of campaign you need to send to that specific kind of profiles. So we can see here that the high LTV audience strongly overlaps. We are very lucky with the audience of people who have a valid email. That's great. That gives us the possibility to actually address them via email channel. They also have other overlaps. Now, do you find this feature useful? I really love it.
Definitely. That brings me one question on my mind. When we are talking about overlaps and overlaps of segments in general, what do you think, or how widely is used actually the opposite, kind of the suppression of different segments that actually can overlap at some part of your user base? What do you think about the importance of suppressing audiences?
No, definitely useful. And just imagine that you want to export your high LTV clients, let's say, to paid campaigns. Obviously, you only want to export those who have not interacted or converted in, let's say, past 3 months, maybe 6 months, depending on your sales cycle. So it's really easy to create the base audience of high LTV clients and exclude those who recently converted. And of course, you don't want to spend your budget on recent converts, so you only export those who are outside of those. So really useful feature, creating audiences, creating overlaps. Now, when your segment is ready and you are happy about it, you can immediately export it to profile destinations or create profile sync. So that brings us to another great value in Meiro Engage, and that is real-time synchronization and being able to evaluate audiences, profiles, and the complete end-to-end data pipeline in real time. Now, what does real time mean to you? How long does it take to be real time?
Yeah, I believe that there are several definitions on the market. I think that real time is actually like binded together with the use case and the time-wise perspective, what you want to achieve, meaning that you need different, let's say, real-time connection when you need real-time personalization on the website, where, for example, there is a next visit session, or in visit session. I mean, if you visit another page during the session, you need like different bandwidth and connection in terms of what real time kind of is reflected and needed based on your technical capability and use case as well.
Great. Yep. And Meiro can definitely cater to this. Real time means milliseconds for us. So we can do the personalization across the sessions as well as inside one session on the web. So you are easily able to personalize the content of the website while the client is still on the website, which is great. I really like it. Now, that brings us to actually content and what we are able to produce in terms of campaigns. So we saw journeys. This is where you connect multiple campaigns into multi-step scenarios. We see audiences now, and now let's have a look at campaigns, content, and how to build the personalized communication. Meiro Engage offers several native communication channels. It is email, it can be SMS messages, very efficient channel in my opinion, WhatsApp, probably even better than SMS messages, and website personalization in a form of web banners. So let's have a look at the capabilities or possibilities of email channel. Now, email is still very efficient communication channel, and it gives great possibilities for personalization. So let's say that we want to create a campaign that, in this case, will engage the clients that have multi-fuel bundle offer. Whatever that means is just a sample. So to set up the campaign is fairly easy. Again, the content is easy to define in the editor. And of course, in the setup, it is important to either connect this campaign with a specific audience or to make it part of the journey or both. Now, what I really like about any kind of campaign here in Meiro Engage are the goals. Now, what do you think is a goal of any campaign? Is it opens, clicks, both?
I guess it has like a multi-dimensional aspect, let's say, how to view this, but ultimate should be some form of conversion, I believe.
True.
So typically you have links to websites, to mobile applications, and you want to users, go on the website and to do certain action. So I guess like orientation to goals, to certain actions can help you optimize those campaigns and narrow the focus, what is actually important and what you want to achieve. Because sometimes we also see that clients are looking at numerous of metrics, but missing like business background, what you actually want to achieve with those, campaigns.
Of course. Always follow the money. It's that simple. I mean, yes, client satisfaction first, but then follow the money. So I totally agree. Like, especially with email campaigns, a lot of marketers really focus on secondary metrics, like opens. Sorry, nobody pays you for your clients opening the emails, right? We are not a post office. So nobody also like pays you directly for the clicks. What is important is to define clear conversion goals, which might actually be on completely different type of media than your campaign. So most probably your conversion goal is not in the email itself, but as we see here, it might be new registration or it might be promotion click. Both those goals are actually happening on the website. And in Meiro Engage, it is really simple to connect those two touch points together and register the goals. Now, this is something I really like. It helps a lot with the attribution, and it also reminds you what is the primary purpose of the communication. It is to follow the money or to make the customers happy. So those are communication channels. Within the content, we are also looking at catalogs, a feature that may not be important for everyone. That might be the reason why we don't have any catalog connected to this demo, but it's very useful. And this is the place where you want to connect your product feed. Now, how would you work with a product feed being a typical e-commerce project? Why is it important?
I believe that it provides the layer of the product catalog that you can use in variety of places, right? So first that comes to mind is obviously personalization of newsletters. So you, for example, provide some specific action to some subset of users, and you want to give them as much relevant products as possible. So giving you the whole item list that is your library of all products can serve as a good serving layer for the personalization engine and provides, let's say, showcase of most relevant products that you want to promote.
Yeah, definitely. And there is very practical example. We can use the product feed variables directly in personalization of the email. So that allows you to make sure that you are not promoting products that are out of stock. As simple as that. Like, there is nothing more ridiculous than sending someone a nice 25% voucher on sneakers that are out of stock. That should not happen. So this is exactly what the product feeds are for. Now, asset library. I really like this feature. It helps a lot to create, let's say, a reusable object, and the assets can be of multiple types. So we can create, of course, an image, document, but I really like even the text snippets, links, and HTML snippets. Now, with text snippets, it is really easy to create multiple versions, for example, of personalized email subject or any other piece of text and reuse it. Now, I find it really useful because I can create the text once and reuse it across the channels. So it gives me a lot of consistency in messaging to the clients and reusability of those assets.
I believe that this is very important, typically for larger clients that has multiple team members that are working on the campaign production. So they stay, as you mentioned, consistent and typically on with brand rules and everything what is related to that as well.
Corporate identity. Yes, we all love corporate identity, but no, it's totally necessary to keep it. So that helps you a lot. Now, what we've been through is, and we've been going through the demo a little bit from the end back to front. So we had seen journeys, we had seen profiles, audiences. Now we are looking at content. We also saw the content for the individual channels. And what is really important is to close the loop through reporting.
Reporting, definitely.
Yeah, reporting. So we all love the data. We want to see the data. And for this, Meiro Engage offers beautiful dashboards that help you to actually see the results of your daily work. They help you to see the results of the campaigns, and they can be fully customized. So even customized dashboards such as Net Promoter Score, that is not a typical feature, can be created. And the system is quite easy to use on its own. Now, do you know what makes it even easier to use?
I think that we should show some AI capabilities and how agentic system in year 2026 in engagement platform can and should look like, and how the production of automation and in general creation of automations should really be AI driven.
So we should jump on that wave of AI-driven development and AI-driven everything. No, I totally agree. I really like Piper, who is our AI assistant, and it's really well connected to every single part of the system. Personally, I feel like having new team member, right? And it's not a junior. I would say it's pretty experienced media. It really helps not only with the configuration of the system, but I feel quite confident asking like domain-specific marketing questions to Piper. And what I really like about Piper is questions such as, hey Piper, look at the data and suggest new kind of campaign, or what I could do with this kind of audience, right? And it will not only answer like, yes, you can create some kind of win-back campaign or something, but it will immediately ask me whether it should set up the journey, whether it should create the template. It will even suggest the content, create the copywriting if we need to. So really, really helpful. And what I like is it still keeps the person in the middle, so I feel important. I need to approve every single action Piper does. What do you like about Piper?
I like Piper. Let's say that most of the experience on the market that you will have with AI and chats and chatbots, that is typical interface, is that you will meet a documentation interpreter, right? Someone who can give you some data interpretation as well, so some basic analysis. But when we talk about Piper, what I really like is the end-to-end kind of process involvement of Piper in automation creation. So it can help you from what you suggested with the ideas or what to actually create next, but with the execution as well. And that's what is like magical in the whole process, that things don't take hours but rather minutes, and you can see that in production. So overall process of the development and creation of journeys is something that speeds up rapidly.
It's exactly what I told you. It's like having new team member in your team, a really capable one.
Yeah, with like pennies that costs to ask AI.
Don't tell our CFO, right?
Or tell, because management of costs is something that CFOs looks most.
True. All right, so we've been through most exciting features, not going into all the details. And you know what? We managed to show the functionality from having complete communication scenarios, having complete and very detailed profiles with attributes, noise audiences, noise campaigns, including the content, and we didn't need to touch the data. Almost. So I think this is mission complete. We had presented Meiro Engage. I really love the product because it really helps you to engage with your clients through personalized communication and through relevant content. Thank you.